getting it, fellas. Look here.
Stand by.
One for Sealab, two for Draw Eagle, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the Power Band, this is The Blah. And this is...
The Blah?
The show. I'm your host,
Is it The Blah or is it the show?
Kevin. This is The
I'm
Blah.
confused.
And the show. This is the show. Let's go. It's time to start the show. I'm your host, Kevin, along with my super friends, Head in a Jar, Ben Higo.
Yo.
Old Ben Higo.
And of course, Chad.
Yo.
Welcome to the show, folks. This week we're talking about the 1990s classic. Is it a classic? I don't know. We're going to decide in this exciting episode of the show. The movie is The Fallen. Sorry, just Fallen, because we wouldn't dare put a "the" in the front of it.
No way.
Starring our beloved Denzel, James Gandolfini, sounding very much like he did in True Romance, John Goodman, Donald Sutherland, M. Beth Davids, and Elias Koteas, who did not have enough screen time in this movie. Anyway, let's get into it. High level. Somebody start talking now.
I'll go. I don't want to go first because I got angry watching this.
Oh, boy. All right.
Fine, I'll go.
Go.
Oh, nice. Take one for the team. Go, Benny.
Never saw this before.
Really?
No, really, never saw this before.
Really? Okay.
Great cast. Does not equal great movie.
Nope.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. And it was all right. I didn't hate it, but it didn't really wow me in any way.
Yeah.
Mm.
It kind of came out before everyone made a twist in every fucking movie. So, like, at the time, it was quite, I don't know, maybe novel. But I could see how it would just be whatever burger nowadays.
But what twist?
The, like, end shit where he didn't die or whatever.
Ooh.
So Benny hated it. What did you think, Kev?
And then I became a cat.
I love it. All right. I had started watching this movie at some point between 1997 and 2023.
Please tell me you didn't finish it.
And I never finished it. So this was basically a fresh watch for me. I did find it engaging. I did find it entertaining. It was enjoyable to watch, certainly compared to some other movies that we've done that were not enjoyable to watch. But that said, I did have some gripes about it. And if I'm going to go ahead and pre-score it, I'm going to do it like a 6.84, man, because it kind of fell short in some aspects, but I will dig into it later.
Yeah, right on. All right. I figured you guys would have seen this one.
Lay it out, Chad. What's up?
Yeah, there's nothing to lay out. Like,
But
I don't
why?
know. This was I might have just been a Hey Beastmaster song for me when I was a tween because it seemed to be on all the time. It was a pretty classic Denzel-esque kind of role, you know.
Dude, it's not Denzel-esque. He's in the movie.
he just prances around getting angry like Denzel does, you know, as a cop. And yeah, it just kind of had that metaphysical kind of thriller thing going on for it, you know. It's kind of Denzel's Seven, you know, like it has kind of like gritty cop kind of procedural that then turns into some fucking angel demon thing, which is it's kind of interesting. I could see how it would go cult classic-y and people would dig it.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
I don't know, what back in the day, the straight cop, you know, being convinced that there's angels and devils and stuff was kind of an interesting kind of plot device. And I think the cast really helped sell it. You know, John Goodman's great as his partner, and Donald Sutherland is like the quietest, angry LT in the world. You know, he just like whispers "fuck you" to him instead of yelling like the classic cop shit. Gandolfini's really awesome, and I forgot he had a fucking sweet stash, which we need to talk about.
He definitely had a fucking major stash.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a cool flick.
I'm going to just kind of go off of that. So it's a unique movie. I mean, there's been movies about, demons and, it's kind of weird shit like that, but,
Yeah, Constantine or whatever.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Constantine's kind of a little more like, heavy duty saturation on demon lore and that kind of thing. So I really wouldn't compare the two at all, but I can see why people, if it is a cult classic, I didn't realize that, but if that is the case, I can see why people would like it and get down with it. I mean, I think the actors really save the movie, like it's the story is definitely interesting, and the acting is, good. Like the whole demon bent and like jumping from body to body, I think was pretty cool. And the myriad of random actors that played the Azazel, did a good job of selling that whole thing. And I think that's definitely one of the strong points in the movie, for sure. I haven't seen anything quite like this. Certainly nothing's coming to memory where it was like, this sort of demon possession. And I liked the take on it. Like, I thought it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I definitely liked the time of year and the setting. It was feeling very Philadelphia to me, although I wasn't really sure, and it kind of could have been Chicago. Not sure. So, I don't remember them saying what the locale was, but yeah, I found it interesting because it seems like it's kind of unique in that way.
The classic nondescript location that you tend to like.
No. Well, yeah, of course, but like really just that, just that the idea of the demon kind of jumping body to body and doing that kind of thing was, I thought was kind of cool and unique,
Yeah.
and different, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. I'm not normally into like religious-y movies just because I'm not very religious. I find it really fucking dumb, but
Yep.
this one kind of scratched the itch. It was like not beat you over the head religious,
No, it definitely wasn't. It was just kind of I liked how it got down and dirty with it. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, so there's a demon jumping around. Like, let's get into that. And there was like good lore and all that kind of thing,
Yeah.
It wasn't, weird.
Yeah. I think that's about it.
Okay, folks, that was Fallen.
You're a big fan of Elias Koteas, aren't you? I remember we talked about him a bit here and there.
Yeah, I love him, man. I think he's fantastic, dude. He's always a solid performer, man. He's just great in everything that he does. I've always felt we never quite get to see enough of him. Certainly not enough kind of meaty roles. So I don't know. It was good to see him. Again, in this movie, we didn't get to see enough of him. I mean, he, sort of.
He's just the opening, but it was pretty powerful.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's possessed by Azazel in the beginning, is my understanding. He's not like the progenitor of the whole thing. Am I thinking about that right?
Yeah, he's just possessed. Yep.
Didn't seem all that clear.
Yeah, it was a little fuzzy.
Well, I think when he's being executed, he's being a big tough guy, and then at the very end there, he kind of like Azazel leaves the body, and he's like, "Wait, what the fuck? I'm innocent," kind of stuff.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that part by the end of the movie.
Get too busy looking at the demon cat's asshole.
Yep. He was easy to forget it by the end of the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always had a soft spot for this one. It really does remind me of Seven in a way. Like Seven's much darker, but.
Well, yeah. Why don't you tell us how? Because I'm not really seeing the connection there.
Well, I think it's like, Seven, I think, goes really super dark and super kind of gritty, where it's always raining, and it is literally like a very nondescript city. And you got the two buddy cops that are doing their thing, trying to solve the thing.
Sure.
And in this case, it's, hot shot Denzel Washington cop who bags fucking, what is this, number 6? Number 7, like bags people and puts them on the electric chair or the gas chamber or whatever. So you think it's going to be this big, like, murder mystery serial killer who done it, and it kind of just turns supernatural. Not supernatural, but you know what I mean, like,
yeah, supernatural
angels and demons or whatever the fuck. And it's a similar kind of like cat and mouse game. It's just through the moving bodies piece instead of finding Kevin Spacey who fucking sliced off his fingertips because he's a psycho piece, you know? Like, it's a very similar kind of chase the bad guy, but it's kind of in a bit of a different light, you know, it's a slightly different take on the genre.
Sure. Okay. I'm feeling like you're reaching, but I'll take it. Yep.
I mean, it's like a couple years after Seven. You don't think that like the police procedural kind of super evil shit, society's fucked kind of genre of late 90s nihilistic cop movie, like it kind of fits in. Both of those movies kind of fit into it, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I love everything you just said. And I love when one of us loves a movie and the other two don't.
He's like, this fucking sucked.
No, and listening to the fan of the movie just I can
just like hear the fucking muted yawns on the other side of the phone.
No. I just love listening to one of us defend a movie.
Yeah, fair enough. Whatever, man.
It's
the
great.
rollerblade scene at the end is sick.
No, I know. Yeah, exactly. Right. Or like my whole diatribe about Red Dawn. But I mean, look, on a serious sort of answer note, whatever, I think, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like, you know, the two cops about, you know, fighting some sort of supernatural thing. I mean, the comparison to Seven is sort of that, like, it's the cops and it's kind of twisted and evil. You know what I mean? The Seven is really about a serial killer. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not really about like demons and shit. But yeah, I see where you're at with that for sure.
Yeah.
Seven is just like a million times better movie than this
definitely.
movie, you know?
Yeah. I guess Denzel Washington turned down Brad Pitt's role in Seven for this and regretted it. Or not for this, but turned it down at the time, and then I could see him taking this as a result of that regret, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah, brother. 100%.
I don't know. I don't have much more to say. It's just I thought it was a clever, entertaining, enjoyable movie when I was a teenager, so I'm not going to really be able to fucking pull this entire episode. You guys are going to need to say something at some stage.
You can't do the entire episode alone? Well, that's crazy.
Monologue it. I'll just keep interrupting myself.
There you go. Let's talk about what's good here.
Ahsoka's coming out soon.
Ahsoka? Really?
It's a new Napoleon movie. Willy Wonka movie's coming out soon.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what's good? What did you like?
Yeah, let's talk about what's working. Benny, any thoughts? What did you like about this?
I think it's a good cast.
Jeez, Charlie.
You really didn't like it that much? Like, were you just not in the headspace or what? It was like a big wet fart for you or what?
It left no impression on me.
Yeah, right.
You know, maybe at the time, you know, like maybe if I'd seen it back in the day, I would have been like, ooh, you know, but I just feel like I've seen so many movies that have done something similar so much better, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually a little, I found it remarkable that there were so many good actors in this. Like, it just
Me too.
didn't seem like the story was particularly worthy of that. But I don't know. That's just me. I just really, I don't know. It didn't, I didn't hate it, but it left no impression on me. Like, I'm going to forget about this completely.
Yeah.
I already did. I'm
just
sitting here forgetting about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the other week when you said I've never seen Ed Harris be less compelling. Which really cracked me up when I was editing it.
Oh, no doubt.
But yeah, it is like that. And I think to hang on this for a minute or three, like two of the, like I took notes, right? And only a couple, but two of the notes I had were, or three actually, were the movie, like the story is good and the acting is good, right? And like it's a cool concept, you know, the dialogue is good, you know, and it moves along at a nice pace and like, you know, all that kind of thing. But it's just like, it's like devoid of tension. You know, there's somehow it feels like there's no stakes whatsoever, and there's nobody like pulling the cord taut. No, I just wasn't feeling it, man. And I feel like they should have either like doubled down on the narration that he was doing or just removed it altogether.
Probably the latter, but yeah.
Yeah, probably the latter. You know what I mean? And then the other thing was like, there was like the music was, like we've touched on the music, numerous times, when we're talking about films, but this just the music was either non-existent or it was so unforgettable. It was so forgettable that it just disappeared into the background to no effect whatsoever. You know what I mean? And I think, a nice score would have really helped kind of bring the tension as well.
Guess.
I don't know. That's what I was feeling like were sort of what was lacking in the movie.
I feel like the tension, like Denzel's character as like the straight-laced cop slowly devolving into like essentially all of his buddies thinking he's a fucking murderer. Like the whole time, it's like you can. I don't know. I just like always imagine the world where you're the guy that is fighting a fucking demon in a place where no one believes in that shit, and you're like, no, seriously, there's a fucking demon. Everyone's like, all right, crazy dude, like.
Yes. I
think the fact that he just is getting fucked with by this lazy, bored ass fucking demon. It's just like, I don't know. It's like he's like the proto Karen, this fucking demon. He's been around for like 6,000 years and just likes going around being fucking a Karen and like ruining people's lives. It's like, dude,
yeah,
can you just chill the fuck out and stop fucking ruining people's lives? The poor bastard's just trying to like fucking solve crimes, and this fucking Karen demon is just like, I'm gonna kill your whole family, motherfucker.
After we go to Starbucks and complain.
You know what I mean? Like, fucking let me see your manager, motherfucker. Kill your family. It's just like, bro, like nobody believes that there's a demon, and you're just like sitting there with your dick in your hand being like, I'm being set up here, and everyone's like, sure you are, bud, sure.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't know. It's. I feel like I enjoyed that kind of tension of him being like the straight-laced guy trying to get people to believe him, but nobody does, But,
it's like Spooner and the Robots. You know what? That's probably what it is. It's Robots.
Yeah, that probably is exactly it, to be fair.
It's too similar how, Ben? Like
basically the same fucking movie.
Okay. Yeah, Spooner and the Robots, Hobbs and the Demon. It's the same fucking story, essentially.
Wow. That is super weird.
It really is, yeah. And some super, super cute fucking scientist chick who you can't have a relationship with because you're a black dude. And they don't do that in movies.
Yeah,
but.
even there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you're right, dude.
It's very
Except
formulaic.
that, like, yeah, the theologist woman, Greta, was like was related to the guy that was doing the murdering, and it was her dad, unlike Robot, but still, yeah.
That is true. That I could totally see how that would set the tone in a shitty way. Maybe that's why it came up. I don't know.
I really like the idea of a movie about like demon Karens.
Demon Karens, yeah, totally.
That's a pretty tight concept.
It's like Mean Girls. Mean Girls meets The Prophecy or some shit.
Let's go to Starbucks and see the manager.
Let's ruin their fucking lives. The coffee cups flying around.
This is probably a better movie than I, Robot, but
I agree with that. Yeah.
I think, like for instance, talking to Christy Snaps about this, she has the same sort of, you guys probably watched it together back in the day.
Probably.
She has a similar sort of, hey, Beastmaster, nostalgic sort of view on this movie. And I think maybe if I had seen it back in the day before a million other movies that are very similar came out,
right,
I might have had a different attitude towards it.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a bit of that. Because it kind of like, it is nothing new now. Like, if it came out now, like, it has been done a million fucking times. But
totally.
At least for me, at the time, it was reasonably novel, Whereas, like, every other fucking show on Netflix is essentially this shit now.
Yeah.
Well, this is another great example of where nostalgia power comes in, and we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, and I don't remember which film it was, but I hadn't seen it, and I was appreciating how if you had seen it, back in the day, it would have, lent more to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a much better movie than this one. You know what I mean? But there's just something about that nostalgia thing, man, that just it is a definite factor. It comes into play over and over again. So it's like,
yeah.
If you had seen it back in the day, it just somehow imprints in a different way, than if.
I'm not gonna like. I'm not gonna like cut my inner thigh or anything, but like I'm kind of bummed that this doesn't hold up as a first watch. You know, just because I don't know. I kind of feel like it's like it has some interesting beats to it, but
It does.
I think what I like is when we do these kinds of episodes and it's like one or two people haven't seen it and they're like, it was pretty good, you know. But it sucks when it goes the other way. But like, what are you gonna do, you know?
Well, yeah, nothing. You can go cry in your oversized pillow after the show, but it's your own thing. You know,
Pikachu onesie.
I could watch this again in like, a year and be like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
Different headspace. Yeah. Well, I mean, that happened to me.
Maybe not like right after iRobot,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That happened to me with Temple of Doom. Like, I watched it randomly 18 months ago and was just like, I hate this movie. And clearly I was menstruating because I watched it again for our episode and it was really good, you know?
Menstruating.
I was in a fucking stupid headspace about it for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, because when we watched it, we all loved Temple of Doom. It was excellent.
I was being a Karen demon. Happens.
You were being a Karen demon.
Karen demon.
I guess also the idea of the demon jumping from person to person seems like a cool thing.
Yeah.
But in practice, I didn't find it to be particularly, it was like a wish-washy antagonist, because a million different people are playing it. And it's kind of, I don't know, it just didn't, like when it was described to me, I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. But then when I watched it, I was like, it just kind of seems like,
That is called being well.
Like it didn't unfold in a way that really like hit me, like it didn't, it's a kind of an interesting concept, but it never actually unfolded in a way where I was like, oh shit, like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I think I think that comment lends itself to what I was saying before about the tension, Ben. Like, I don't know if it was like the execution that was poor in that. Like the concept is definitely cool, and I liked it even more later when they sat down and she explained, how when a spirit goes from body to body, they can go exactly, whatever it was, 50 cubits or whatever, and it's one breath, So like there was some cool, backstory and lore there, but again, like I wasn't like. I wasn't like, oh my God, like, wow, this is kind of freaky. I was just kind of like, all right, whatever. Like, well, what next? Like it just, again, there was no tension in it, or the stakes weren't high enough, or it was one of the two, man.
Yeah.
So when they're doing the jumping, like, the kind of weird kind of yellow-green vision was, that was a cool, simple representation of it, and I was fine with that. But
washed out colors. Ooh.
Maybe that was where it fell over. Is the green shit.
I teed that up just to see if Benny would do something like that.
Scary green.
I think my old VHS camera had an effect like that. You could do.
Oh hell yeah, totally. Bro! We should we'll make our movie in VHS
primitive
only.
Instagram filter.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel like it's like the Nothing from Neverending Story. Like it sounds like a super cool thing.
Yeah, but it's
like,
really just
it's actually just fucking nothing. Like it's like no, it doesn't really do much. It sounds cool.
Yeah,
it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. It is the same kind of thing
because it does sound cool. Like the body snatching Karen demon. Like the scene where the rando follows Greta Milano, the Beth David's character.
Yep.
And then like corners her and starts grabbing everybody to like catch up with her. That was pretty cool. Like that was a cool use case for that kind of like demon that travels by touch. But most of the rest of the time it was just like everyone's just fucking bumping into each other like a dickhead.
Right. And it's like it until it's John Goodman, like it never seemed
you don't really care.
I may be not thinking of something here, but it didn't seem like they were ever taking over anybody that was like important, Nah,
it's just random people.
And I was sort of under the impression that like, you're going to be dealing with something that's like posing as somebody that
Yeah. Like the police, it was the police chief the whole time or some shit.
Right. And it doesn't actually ever really pan out that way until the very sort of last act there, and it's sort of a last minute thing. It's not like it was John Goodman all along. It just happened to be in that little chunk of the film.
This is random fucking 20-year-old jogging chick for like half the movie.
Yeah, exactly. She's like,
gotcha, fucker. I don't know, man. I still like it. Fuck you guys. I get it though.
I mean, I'm not. I'm not like. I guess I'm trying to like just
you're trying
give
to find
some reasons as to
There's
like why
there.
it didn't like land super hard with me.
Yeah. I mean, on this watch, like, it was interesting because like I do have that in Hey Beastmaster's on nostalgia, like no doubt about it. Because it's like it's not a fucking Oscar worthy movie or whatever. Not that Oscars mean anything.
No.
But like it's interesting and it's entertaining enough, and it's an interesting enough idea. And then like on this watch, the couple things I noticed was like it goes along at a pretty good clip. Like it's just kind of like, oh yeah, like the serial killer's dead, and then they find another body, then they find another body, and then things get weird, and then it's a demon, and then you're like, okay, and then John Goodman's at the end. Like it goes at a reasonable clip. At least it's not fucking boring.
Dude, the pacing is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Like, I feel like Benny and I had very similar experience in watching this. You know what I mean? And that it's just kind of like I don't know. I wasn't wowed or
or not wowed,
like whelmed by it. It was just kind of like all right, cool. But like all the pieces, a lot of the pieces are there that make it good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm definitely praising a lot of the things in it. Like the cast is really, probably really what carries this whole thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Like the cast, is
the
rock
story and the
solid.
dialogue are cool too. It's just some of the execution is just kind of poor. And again, like from my perspective and a kind of a theater storytelling film perspective, is just like there's just no tension in it. You know what I mean? The tension isn't ratcheted up enough. You know what I mean? Certainly in a 2023 watching.
Where there needs to be fucking infinite tension.
No.
I like the it's a bit bits and bobsy, but the one of the opening scenes with Gandolfini. In fact, I think it was his opening scene where they're at the bar. And he's being a bit of a dick, and he's drinking his fucking,
oh my God,
whatever is imported beer, and is trying to needle Hobbs about fucking stealing money. I really like that.
Drinking Bud, yeah.
Yeah, I like that, the dialogue in that scene, where it's just like,
no, it's good.
you're on a high horse, and then Washington lays down this great little monologue. He's like, hey, I guess I need to be drinking some fucking Bud, It was great. Like, I like that sequence, like.
I did, and I like Gandolfini had he kind of had the same thing going on that he did in True Romance.
Sure,
like he had, he had the stash, which was great,
Epic.
very cop-esque too, But he just the way he was talking was really funny, man.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
he's just just slimy enough.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a bit of the character stuff. Maybe none of the shit was written in, and the actors brought that to it, Like, I could see Gandolfini bringing that to the character, or I could see Goodman bringing, the kind of, Goodman kind of gets this, I'm not at all being mean when I say this, but he's, your best friend dog sidekick kind of dude. He's like, oh, hey guys, found these clues, get some food, he's just such a fucking sweet dude. I don't know why I have such a soft spot for Goodman, but he plays the ultra loyal sidekick here, and it was great.
No, John Goodman's awesome, dude. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
I did like his demon portrayal at the end.
Yeah.
When he's doing the time is on my side thing, he actually starts doing a Jagger kind of a thing.
Yeah,
which I thought was really funny.
He did, yeah.
He kind of starts doing the pouty mouth and the the hands out move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, good.
I love how every movie
It
with
was
even the hint of a demon or the devil, and it had to have Sympathy of the Devil roll at credits too.
Oh my God. The song is so sadly so completely overplayed, dude.
It's so funny.
And overused by Martin Scorsese.
But I don't know, man, if we're sticking on the cast, Sutherland being such a quiet ball busting chief I really appreciated. I'm really glad he
Yeah,
didn't
me
go
too.
ball busting.
Yeah.
He would just like sigh and be like, the guys upstairs are dickheads. Just like, stop. Just don't. You know?
Yeah, right.
It was
Yeah.
great. It was like
Yeah.
just the subtlest ball busting chief ever.
Well, just to comment on what was said before, you know, the cast is like, you know, it's large caliber, man. You know what I mean? Like you're even the minor players in it. You
Yeah, the
know,
bit
like,
players
they
did a
were
great
they
job.
were yeah, well, they were minor at the time. Then they went on to be like, you know, superstar people, man. You know, like Elias Koteas, everything he does, he shows up and he like
Yeah.
brings the A game. Gandolfini went on to be a superstar before he died, and then you know we know about Denzel and Goodman and even M. Beth Davids. Like, I mean, and Donald Sutherland. Like, these are all excellent, excellent actors, man. You know what I mean?
No
So I
doubt,
think
yeah.
that was definitely like the 20-sided die saving throw here.
No doubt.
Part of it, anyway.
Yeah, this like if you substituted this cast out with like, you know, Seagal-esque
Weaker.
B-movie shit, it would have
Yeah.
been the worst B-movie on the face of the earth. Like, no doubt
Oh
about it.
yeah, Seagal. That would have been perfect, man. Can you imagine?
I guess Arnie was
Seagal
supposed to play
playing-
fucking Hobbs, dude, which, like,
What?
I love me some Arnie, but, like, no fucking way, dude.
But there's demons. They're everywhere.
Exactly. Like, what the
I can't even.
I mean, maybe it would have been great because of how cheese dicky it would have been, but
So you were telling me how they were able to go 50 cubits before they reach the next person, and it has to be in one breath. I can't even fathom that, man. Come on.
Oh my god.
What the hell is a cubit?
It totally. But he'd have an M16 with the grenade launcher on the bottom and everything. It would have been fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. And then they would suit up. Them smoking the cigarette.
This movie needs more guns.
Yes, and I'm going to smoke this cigarette that has the same poison that you used to poison my brother, and I'm going to die now.
I am dead.
And then remember at the beginning when I told you this was a story about the time that I almost died. Now I'm a cat. Meow.
Now I definitely want more narration.
Oh my god. That plus the Karen demon, dude. That's the movie that needs to be made.
Arnie versus the
Falling
Karen
2.
demon.
Yes, Arnold versus the Karen demon.
I love it.
Karen!
Meow.
Get out! Meow!
Meow.
That is fun.
That's gold.
That is fun.
Who wants to pet this cute kitty? Meow.
I need to tell you about
man.
something about your dad. He's not sleeping.
Ooh.
I'm gonna close my eyes and go to
Sorry.
sleep, and when I wake up, everything's gonna be back to the way it was. All right, kid.
Remember when I told you that cigarettes were bad and that I quit? I did quit, and they're still bad. It's amazing how much exact dialogue I remembered from
Right?
this
You can
movie.
just pull it
man.
straight
now
out.
I kind of want to see Arnold in this.
I know, I do too, man. I this might be like the best my impression has ever been too, because I'm feeling like it's
yeah, you're
really
hitting
firing.
It. You're hitting it, man.
It's firing hard right now. Oh yeah, that's
Love
good
it.
stuff. Why don't you invite me in again and we can sit here and have coffee and talk about Azazel?
Now I want to hear you do "Sympathy for the Devil" with Arnie.
Oh my god. Wait, Sympathy for the Devil. Wait, no, Time is on My Side is the name of the song.
Yeah, and then they did "Sympathy for the Devil" when the credits rolled.
Please allow me to
introduce myself.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
I'm a kitty.
I'm a kitty who was born to run.
Look at me. I'm so cute.
I'm a beautiful kitty.
Drinking milk from a saucer. Look. Watch me jump nimbly bimbly from tree to tree.
Nimbly bimbly, yes. Oh, wow. That's fun.
I've got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Yeah. That's one of the best lines ever from a movie,
Such
man.
a good one.
It's so good. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh,
Well, we pulled something out of a hat there.
we sure did. We sure did. All right, let's wrap her up.
Pretty much.
Sweet.
Bits and Bobs. Is that a thing
Sheila
or
from
no?
Army of Darkness. I'll take a death. I haven't seen Army of Darkness in a long time. Which one's Sheila? Is it like his girlfriend or something?
Wait, what?
Beth Davids.
Beth Davids was in Army of Darkness.
Oh, that's oh shit! You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Good call. Dang it. Hang on, I gotta write this death down. It's the only one we got.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yes.
I haven't seen Army in a while. Yeah, she was the one that was his, kind of
Flang.
sort of doting over him, and then he goes, first you want to kiss me, then you want to kill me. Blow.
She was in Bicentennial Man too, which is, I don't know, I've never want to watch on the show now because you guys will hate it, but I fucking love that movie.
Oh, that sounds like another movie we must do.
Robin Williams
she was
an
in
android that turns into a dude.
Yeah. She was in Matilda as well.
Yeah.
She was really good in that.
Miss Honey.
Yeah, Miss Honey. What was the death, Chad?
Army of Darkness. Army of Deathness.
Ooh, I like that. Army of Deathness. Jesus Christ, dude. My Brazilian neighbors are having the loudest party 2 doors down.
Halfway through your sentence, I thought you were going to talk about how your Brazilian wasn't coming in well. My Brazilian is so itchy right now.
My Brazilian? Dude, that's really wrong.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Kev got a Brazilian.
That's what I'm saying.
Kev got a Brazilian. This week on In This Episode, Everybody Dies.
Kev gets a Brazilian live on air.
Kev gets a Brazilian, and Jarhigo makes light of it.
It's so bumpy.
And itchy.
I told you, my dad.
You're not my dad, Todd.
You're my dad, Todd. Did I ever tell you about that one? Benny must have heard this one, but so for the folks at home, I'll add a little bit of stuff you guys already know. My dad's a pilot, and he would go fly people around, and every once in a while he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got a flight. My car's at the airport. Come pick it up. You can use my car for the day, and then just come get me when the flight's done. I'll give you a call." I was like, "Yeah, cool." So I get a call. I go to the airport. I pick up my dad, and I can't drive with my dad. He's like, he'll fucking just be a complete prick. So I'm like, I get out. He jumps in the driver's seat. We're driving along. It's quiet for 60 seconds. You don't really talk to your dad when you're fucking driving, just because whatever. And he goes, "Yeah, I got waxed." And I'm like, "You what?" He's like, "Yeah, I got waxed." I was like, "What do you mean you got waxed, dude?" He's like, "I got waxed." I was like,
whoa.
"What, you like waxed your chest?" He's like, Nah. I was like, "You waxed your balls, dude?" He's like, "Yep." What the fuck are you telling me this for, man? He's like, "Yeah, I got waxed, I was like, "All right."
Was he like, "I feel so streamlined"?
Yeah, I was like, "Cool." I'm proud of you, bud.
Why did he share that?
Thank you. No worries, And so the next day, he's got a new girlfriend, and the next day he's like, "Oh, you should come over and have dinner, and meet the girl." I was like, "Okay, no worries." So I go over there, and he starts talking about getting waxed again, and she's like, "Bob, that's his son. Stop talking about." And he was just like, he's like, "That's great, it was really great." I'm like, all right, I'll play along, Dad. What do you like about it, Dad? And he goes, "Let me put it to you this way, son. Have you ever been teabagged?" Part of me died, and part of me was so proud of my father in that moment. And
oh man, wow, that's
good.
Shockingly brutal.
It was brutal. It was horrifying and hilarious. And if you know my dad,
Have
which
you
Benny does,
ever
and you might, it's even funnier.
Teabagged.
Yeah, and now you have exactly 1 week to decide whether I keep this section in.
Yeah, keep it in. I don't give a
edit
fuck.
it right out. I don't care if you want to leave in the part about my dad getting shaved and teabagged, bro.
Hey,
Whoa,
man.
whoa, waxed.
No, he didn't get shaved, man. That's a death.
Sorry, waxed. My bad. Oh,
That's a death.
okay. There you go. A worthy death
Yeah.
it was as well.
That does be Chad's dad's balls didn't get shaved death.
Oh man. All right. You asked for it, you got it. Chad's dad's. Let me try to spell that right. Chad's dad's
Speaking of balls, no.
balls.
Right?
What is it, Chad? They didn't get
Chad's
shaved. They
dad's
got
balls
waxed.
didn't get shaved death.
Didn't. Ugh. Get
I love how dirty you feel now.
shaved death. All right. Yeah. That's a good death too.
Should take that chode, that nice, tidy, clean chode, and transition into James Gandolfini's sweet stash. We need to kind of dwell on that a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it. I like mostly because it's amusing Ben. So this week, folks, on Steak and Mustaches Corner, we're talking about Chad's dad's waxing job and
Chad's dad's chode and
James
James
Gandolfini's
Gandolfini's
stash.
excellent
and we're gonna
mustache.
do it. Yes, we're gonna do it simultaneously.
Yeah, it was just a very impressive stash. Like, I was watching the movie, the stash came on screen, and I was just like, I love that this is a thing. Does it save the movie?
Yes.
Probably not. But did it excite everybody when it came on the screen? Yes.
It did. It's like, wow, look at that stash. Yeah, he rocks a stash well, Gandolfini.
Yeah, man. He had to turn the corner and went. It was double waterfall. Like, it came down real nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it wasn't too over the top. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, it wasn't biker mustache.
Nah, it didn't like go all the way down to his
just,
nipples or whatever.
It was a little heavy duty for a cop stash.
It was a bit, yeah.
But yeah.
But was it like heavy duty for a cop stash, or was it like the cop that kind of doesn't give a fuck anymore and kind of let it go a little, and it like says a lot about him as a man kind of stash?
I just sent a pic over, man.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's tight.
Oh, man.
It's super tight.
It's like a narcoleptic caterpillar.
You know what? I don't really give a shit what you call it. This is a beautiful stash, man.
It's like Frank Zappa.
It is Zappa.
Yeah, kind of.
Without the flavor saver.
Without the
It's
savor.
very similar to the Zappa.
It is.
I feel like Zappa's is a little more kind of moppy. Mop for sopping.
Yeah. First you'll start by mopping.
Mop for sopping.
Mop this up.
If you're going to mop for sopping, to have our mustaches trimmed then waxed.
The lowerness, the lowosity. We need to come up with a chuff name for the vertical measurement. But the amount that the waterfall overhangs is equal to a Zappa. I'll give you that it's not as chuffy, but
it's not as chuffy or
Zappa's
mop,
is chuffier,
moppy.
but it's similar.
Maybe it should be chuff and choof. Like the
Depending on what era of
Choof.
Zappa you're talking about. I mean, Zappa's mustache was always relatively the same shape, but there are times when it was bushier and
I love how
leaner.
Zappa doesn't have a flavor saver. He has a flavor Hitler. It's just such an excellent chin Hitler.
Yeah,
I think he would appreciate that.
He probably would.
I
think he would have a good chuckle at you calling his flavor saver a chin Hitler.
That's right up his alley, man.
I love it, dude.
Right? Yeah, this is a full stash. It's really nice.
It's a very nice stash.
Let's rate this stash. I'm gonna rate this stash shit, man. This thing is epic, dude. It really is fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this thing an 8.93. This is great.
It's pretty good. I'll rate it 3.5 hog bristle brushes.
There you go.
Nice.
Because it needs a little groom. It's a little dirty.
I'm going 9.5. I think it's worthy.
Yeah, wow. I'm impressed.
Is it just a slicked back, baldy kind of grease ball kind of hairdo do anything in relation to it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, it matches the rest of him, and I think that's important and key. We've seen Sam Elliott do that time and time again to great effect. So,
kudos to you, sir.
Kudos to you, sir,
Mr. Gandolfini,
We
who died
mourn
way
your
too fucking
passing.
young, at the age of 51, I believe, which is crazy.
No,
That's
not
a bummer.
51, dude.
Yeah, no, he was. I was reading about it.
Wow, Jesus. Anyway, so yeah, thank you, James Gandolfini.
And thank you, Frank Zappa, for your chin Hitler.
Yeah, let's skip the bits and bobs. I think the mustache was really the key thing there. What about nuggets? Do we care or have any?
Do we give a shit? No, the only nuggets were the Arnie one, which is good.
That was a good nugget.
The rest of it's boring.
All right, ratings.
This one was already on my list. I haven't moved it. Therefore, it probably should get bopped down a little bit. I've got it at a 5.6.
Well, this is a movie that is worthy of a.
I think it's a nostalgia. It's just a nostalgia play for me. Clearly,
Clearly,
I've got it above Raiders and Real Genius, which is not true though.
Dude, it does not exist above those two movies.
No way.
Sorry,
No.
bro.
I mean, a lot of there's like fucking how many movies is in this? There's 500 movies in the Algo, and I'd say at least half of them were like based on memory of the movie as opposed to like a recent watch, you know?
All right. Yep.
So I'll take it from a 5.6. I'll bump it down to like a 5.2 or something. Maybe we should have a bonus section where we talk about how Wakanda Forever and Quantumania were fucking terrible movies.
How about we not? Because it's 10 o'clock.
There is that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I should. I'm going to give this a temp rating for now.
Ooh.
And I'm going to give it a 6. You know, I feel like a 5 would sort of be meh. And I think the cast merits bumping it up a point for sure. But I reserve the right to change my mind about that in the future.
You always do, Ben. You always.
So you said
do.
it was a flat 6? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
This movie, I pre-rated this movie in my high level. And in typical 2023 Kev fashion, I do not remember what that was. It was a 6 point something.
It was like a 6.983 or something.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be a 6.9 though, would it?
No, I think it was more like a 6.8 something. Regardless, hey, it's Whip Chepster,
Whip
everybody.
Chepster's here, guys.
Hey, Whip.
6.9.
I'm gonna stick with that score. You know, like the movie. There were a lot of pieces of this movie that were working, and I could watch this movie again and be perfectly content enjoying the story because I did enjoy it. You know, I just feel like there was a lack of tension. I think that narration just needs to go altogether. And the score was just kind of blah to non-existent, man. So, yeah, that's why I gave it that score, and I'm sticking to it, damn it.
What was it?
I don't know. It's in the beginning. 6.834 or something.
Okay. Ma'am said something funny that she saw the other day. It was 69 is now called a 74 because the cost of eating out has gone up.
I like that, man. Very funny.
Inflation
very-
jokes.
Very nice.
Get it?
See what you did there.
Yeah, sounds more like toilet humor to me.
Are
Inappropriate.
you with us next week, Granito?
Are we doing it Friday?
Yeah, it's a Friday for sure.
Then I believe I will be there.
All right.
Man.
I've got a gig Saturday night, so I should be able to do Friday night.
Well, pick it then.
Saturday,
Benny,
All right, yeah.
you haven't had a pick
what
in
are
a
we gonna
long
do?
time.
Chad Lab. What are we doing next week, guy?
Hey, speaking of my freshly shorn balls, we're going to do Judge Dredd starring my dad, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, your dad? Jeez, guy, that sounds awesome.
Featuring Rob Schneider.
Rob
There you
Schneider
have it.
as Judge Dredd's balls.
Judge Dredd's woke ball
Judge
cancer.
Dredd's freshly waxed testicles
Oh my
He
god.
kind of has that vibe, to be fair.
and taint.
Ugh, cringeworthy. Anyway, there you have it, folks. Next week, the original Judge
The
Dredd,
original.
starring
Judge
Amanda
Dredd.
Sante. And thank you for joining us for Fallen. And that's it, folks. We'll see you on another time. We love you.
See ya.
Toodles.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode. Folks, thank you for joining us yet again. And if you would like to help us and support the show, there's a number of ways you can do it. You can do it on Patreon by contributing directly, and we greatly appreciate that. And we also appreciate it when you tell other folks to check out the show and go on your favorite podcast site to rate and review the show. Massively helpful, and we sure do appreciate it. If you'd like to check out the show notes for this episode, you can do so in your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/2 something something.
Oh, Very specific. I actually think I might make the URL on the website to something. Just
Please do. And
to dash something.
There you go. As always, folks, join us on Instagram if you want to join in on the social media mayhem. Yeah. We use the handle @EBD Podcast. And that's about it. Thanks for joining us for Fallen. We'll see you next week for Judge Dredd, the OG, original Judge Dredd, starring Amanda something. So long for now, folks.
Wonka Sealab, 2 control ego, 3 for Wolverine to round out the trio in this episode. Everybody dies.
Police procedural kind of super evil shit, society's fucked kind of genre of late 90s nihilistic cop movie.